Hi Booktube. Thought I'd better do a video. Seems like I've been very inactive recently, which is true, but I did post at least one video not too long ago, but YouTube took it down, so you won't know about that, I suppose. But moving on, I was looking through some of my old videos recently, and I came across one titled Favourite Authors. One of my more popular videos, actually. But I did watch it thinking, it's a bit out of date. So I thought I'd do an update. That's this video, in case that wasn't clear. Now I'll acknowledge straight away that the previous video was better than this one. Because in that one I had made an effort to make it rhyme. It was kind of a thing I was doing back then. Quite enjoyed it, really. I probably should do more of that. I'm goblin enough to recognise that I was a better goblin back then. And I'm okay with that. So, to discuss my current favourite authors. Now, in that last video, I listed some of my sort of favourite authors as Robert Jordan and David Gemmell. Unfortunately, they are both deceased. Which means that, well, they're not writing anymore. Which leaves me with a lack of anticipation regarding their work, unsurprisingly. And if you're measuring your favourite authors by the sense of anticipation you have, well, that's not really going to work. So, I gave some thought to what books I am most anticipating. And there are two clear winners there, two clear answers. The first and foremost book that I am anticipating is book 4 of the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. Which I suppose makes Brandon Sanderson arguably my favourite author. My introduction to him, or at least his writing, was him completing The Wheel of Time. But that did only introduce his writing, not his world building or creativity, because that had all been done. And it took me a few years, but I eventually decided to throw myself in, and I read the Stormlight Archive last year. And that was pretty amazing. Highly recommend it. Which definitely launched Brandon Sanderson into, well, very high on my list of favourite authors. I did also read Elantris by him, and that wasn't quite so good, but it was his debut novel, so we'll forgive him. The other book I'm quite anticipating at the moment is Dark Dawn, book 3 of the Nevernight trilogy by J. Christoph. So I guess that makes him one of my favourite authors too. And from that point of view, it's actually not just his books that make him one of my favourite authors, because he's quite interactive. Certainly seems to interact with his fans quite a lot on Twitter, so that earns him some thumbs up points in terms of favourite authorness. That's a thing. But yeah, very much enjoyed Nevernight. Book 2 was pretty good too. So high hopes for Dark Dawn. Although similarly, I read one of his other books. I read Lifelike. That was okay. Not quite so much my sort of thing, perhaps. Who else is on the list? This is a list not necessarily in any order, because I'm not that organised. Now, I've read some books by self-published authors this year. Been a bit of a goal of mine. And one in particular actually stands out. Or perhaps it's two. Not quite sure. It's one person. One human. So I read one of his books, called Tooth Goblins, because it's about goblins. and I discovered that through Booktube, which is always nice. Very much enjoyed it. Enjoyed it as both a middle grade book and a book with good goblin representation. But on that alone, I wouldn't have said he was one of my favourite authors, partly because I'm not a middle grade reader. But in interacting with that author a little, I discovered that he had written another book called Cruel Reality. Is a book for fully grown up readers. Different from Tooth Goblins in every way, which is, I guess, why he wrote it under a different name. And that's a book I enjoyed on pretty much every level. Another very recommended book. And that sort of versatility in writing very different books has again left me with quite a sense of anticipation about what he might do next. However, not actually aware if he's doing anything next. Perhaps that adds to the anticipation. Not sure. Now, I'm going to put on this list Adrian Tchaikovsky, even though I've only actually read one of his books, which probably wouldn't normally qualify him to be one of my favourite authors. But his book, Children of Time, with all its spidery, creepy crawlies and humans, it left me with such a sense of uniqueness and creativity and originality that I really do want to read more of his work. I just haven't got around to it yet. And so I'm going to put him on the list anyway. It's my list. And finally, I'm going to give a mention to Nicholas Ames. With all similar reasons. Again, I've only read one of his books. So, should he be on the list? Should he not? Who knows? But his book, Kings of the Wild, had me actually laughing out loud, proper belly laugh, multiple times, that it just conveyed a real sense of enjoyment that I don't always get from a book. So for that simple reason, he's going on the list. So there we go. List of my favourite authors. Updated. No rhyming, just rambling instead. I'll try to get to another video soon. Bye!